Hello kids, welcome to Let's Reddit. Sit back and relax. Let's watch some goofy and messed up comments, shall we? Ask Reddit. What's the biggest red flag when meeting new people? One of my bosses once told me that whenever you start a new job, position, it's usually the first person who tries really hard to be your friend is the problem child of the office. They'll usually start telling you of people to avoid as well. I found this very useful. When you mention something you enjoy and they immediately put it down. I enjoy going on photography walks around cities. That sounds really shit. Okay, well, kindly get lost, Mrs. Stranger. They don't listen to what you say and respond accordingly. They only wait for you to stop talking so they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. There's also the issue of people who won't stop talking in order for you to respond in any way. They have their own personal soliloquy. I've seen a lot of answers along the lines of, when they say negative things about others, which I agree with BTW, but for me a huge red flag is when someone can't let someone else receive praise, or be the center of attention. I've met people in the past who have shown small signs of jealousy when I've praised mutual friends, siblings, strangers, etc., and in each case it was indicative of bigger jealousy and self-esteem issues that led to some messed up stuff. The absolute worst is people trying to one-up another person's suffering. It's one thing to listen and say, I have a similar experience, this is what it is, so I can relate to what you're going through, but it's entirely another when it's so you've sprained your ankle. I broke mine in 3 places and was on crutches for months. What you're going through is nowhere near as bad. Never, ever dismiss someone else's pain because you think you've been through worse. Edit. First silver. First any badge. Thank you, kind stranger. Edit 2. Can't believe I got gold for a rant. Belittling they're so in front of people but insisting it's a joke every time. Sadly in this situation I used to be the belittled, so I briefly had a friend like this. We all went out for drinks one night, and she relentlessly castrated her fiancé while he just sat there like a kicked dog. Meanwhile, she outed my gay buddy to people we didn't even know that well. She thought the whole scene was just hysterical. Toxic bitch right there. Usually when people speak of having a lot of people in their life that somehow turned on them, and now they don't speak anymore. I remember, one old co-worker would become super fast friends with someone, then within weeks, yeah, we don't really talk anymore. Once, he'll accept, hell even twice, but when it's 4-5 times over, guess what? It's not everyone else. When you barely know them, and they act like your best friend, then later ask to borrow money. Yikes. How to tell who is a leecher in minutes. I had a friend like that. He was in his early 20s, but seemed an alright guy. One day, out of the blue, he tells me, dude, I really need to move out of my parents' house, but I don't have any money. I need about $300. I just stood there for a second, and then said, dude, I don't just have that kind of money. His response was, I know, but I also know you have other friends who do. Can you ask them for me? I ended the conversation and stopped talking with him from then on. We weren't even friends for very long, but I didn't need someone in my life constantly asking for money like that. Subtle signs that they aren't remotely interested in you, and the only way you two are together is maybe because an obligation, favor. People change their tune often when they have to conceal their feelings of disdain for someone. I've been a victim of this and done this to other people. It sucks being on the receiving end of someone's disinterest, but some people just won't like you from the get-go and will just do the bare minimum to not be completely rude. Watch out for body language like avoiding eye contact and turning away their body from you. Edit. Also pay attention to their tone and if they're listening to you. Usually it takes a combination of verbal and non-verbal cues to know. Also, by avoiding eye contact, I mean constantly looking elsewhere on purpose as if to imply you're waiting for something better to happen. They don't really listen to you or pay attention to what you're talking about, but expect you to be totally engaged with whatever they say and act put out if you aren't. The distracting noise coming out of that other person's mouth stopped. Finally, it's my chance to talk about me. Yay, it's like they are not listening at all, but just have an algorithm running that looks for keywords in your story that they can relate to one of their stories. Everyone here talking about slightly negative people, but OP asked for the biggest red flag, so I'm gonna go with having a swastika scar on their forehead. Not see what you going do when the war's over. When they start talking about the tons of money I am going to be making with their new business venture in selling knives door to door. This knife will cut right through your shoes. Well, pretend this shoe is whatever you people eat. Maybe it is a shoe. Asking me to private message them my angle. Massive red flag. Sat. How often do you actually get ankle pictures? Never. If they can't take no for an answer. Yeah, I met someone, strictly platonic, recently who immediately got defensive when I said I couldn't take time away from my business at that time to do something social with them. They threatened to show up at my house and asked, what would you do then? There had been a bunch of red flags with this person leading up to this point, but that was where I was like, goodbye, psycho. That's not how any healthy friendship acquaintanceship works. Thank goodness I have enough good people in my life to recognize that. As teenagers I thought this was fun. Friends dropping by and kidnapping you, or rescuing. A bunch of good memories started this way. Spontaneous adventure. That kind of fun is not compatible with lots of adults though. Friend of mine couldn't understand that my other friend might want some private time with his new girlfriend, and that showing up unannounced might not always be received well. Completely pissed him off, and he never got over it. People think I'm a bitch, but I'm really just blunt and tell the truth. They can't handle that. Nah, chances are you're just a bitch. That and the can't handle me at my worst don't deserve me at my best types. If you can't handle me at my did least, you don't deserve me at my did least. Let's be honest. We often see these red flags but deliberately push on to form a relationship. If the relationship goes bust, we critique ourselves for not heeding the warning signs. This is an unjust self-criticism. When you're wearing rose-colored glasses all the red flags look like just flags, from BoJack Horseman. Fixed the color. It's been a while since I saw it. How they treat waiters, waitress, cashiers, janitors, bus drivers, and everyone in the service industry. A co-worker friend of mine left a bunch of trash at the cinema after we finished watching a movie. I angrily picked up his trash, chased him, and told him to throw it away at the bin 3 meters outside of the cinema. And he replied, dude, why are you so Japanese? I did graduated from Japan. I'm just letting the janitors doing their job. No dude, it's not being Japanese, it's being having manners. Couldn't look at him the same way again ever since. I have an unusual name. I don't mind when people ask me to repeat it, or even when they awkwardly ask about its origin. Dad is an immigrant, but when they are obnoxious about it that's usually a good indication that they are stupid and asshole. Reading through these comments made me realize I'm an asshole. Edit. It's like, I've been told I'm an asshole by my very best friends constantly at one point of time and I just shrugged it off thinking I'm way too charismatic for them to handle. First step in fixing a problem is acknowledging there is one. Being an asshole isn't permanent. Keep up the good work. Edit. Thanks for the silver. It's my first medal ever. Thanks for watching, kiddo. Subscribe to my channel so I don't feel so lonely anymore. See you in the next one. Okay, bye bye.